I'm just playing. Hey you guys, it's Akira, Part Truth and Live United. What's going on? So, first of all, welcome back to my channel. If you are you're coming back. If you're new, hey boo, what's going on? What's good? Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. I'm Akira. Welcome to the family. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the little notification bell so when I post, you'll know about it. Make sure you like, comment, all that good stuff. But this one's gonna be real fast because I'm hot and I'm tired and it's been a day. Okay? So this one literally because I posted like, hey, do y'all want me to talk about this? And people were like, yeah, you should talk about it. I actually put the question on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, here it is. You should be following me. Get your life. So, Chris Brown. Child. At this point, I feel like we all know the story, but real fast. He has a new song out, and he basically in the song, he talks about wanting a black woman with good hair. Not only did he say that, but then when people were calling him out, I was like, bruh, like, what's going on? I don't understand. He felt the need to then double and triple down and then be like, let's just have a contest to see all the ugly girls. The only people mad about it is the ugly girls. What's annoying about this, though, is, I mean, let's just keep it a buck. Chris Brown has been problematic off and on for years. Even if we go back to the Rihanna situation. Now, I'm a firm believer in people deserve second chances. Maybe that's just a Christian to me. People deserve second chances. You know, we all start someplace, but just where we started doesn't mean that's where we're gonna finish. So, and not only that, it seemed like at one point, Rihanna had kind of gotten over everything. Didn't they do a song together after the fact? Like, it seemed like Rihanna was over it. So I kind of felt like, well, yeah, I came from a school of thought, if Rihanna's over it, why am I holding on to her trauma? If she's over it, then it is what it is. But over the years, Chris Brown has done things that are side-eye worthy. You know what I'm saying? And if we're being honest, we've watched the women that he dates. Because the only black, like completely black woman that we know he's dated is Rihanna. Everybody else kind of mixed with some, or they super like, Chris Brown is light skinned, so maybe that's where some of this comes from. Like he, you know, but we've never seen Chris Brown with a unambiguous black woman. Like a black woman that you can look at and see, oh, she's clearly black. Like she's not mixed with anything else. Like I said, the only one we really saw him with was Rihanna. And after that, it was Karuchi. And then even his child's mother, like she doesn't look straight black. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I feel like in 2019, we should be done with the good hair conversation. There's no such thing as good hair. I went to hair school. There's no such thing as good hair. It's just not. There is healthy hair and unhealthy hair, but there's no such thing as good hair. And what's annoying about that is there are plenty of women who have not good hair based on the way he's framed this conversation, the way this conversation is framed. There are plenty of women who don't have good hair who support Chris Brown. And if we're keeping it a buck, this is what annoys me about us, black women. This is what annoys me about these type of situations. Because we have these moments, we have this fake outrage. And I say fake outrage because the real tea is all y'all in your feelings, but y'all still going to the concert though. When the single drop, you still gonna play it though. And listen, we're all hypocrites. Let's keep it a buck. Like, we all have a problematic fave. I might do a video about that later. We all have a problematic fave. We all have that one person that, like, we keep them tucked in the pocket because we really don't want nobody to know we support them. But they go hard. We go hard in pain for them. It just is what it is. But I say fake outrage because like I said, we get upset. We let him get us all, or not even just Chris Brown. How many black men in like celebrity black men, or even just regular black men, will say things, we get upset, whatever, but y'all still will mess with them on the low. You still support their music. There are plenty of black men, and let's just talk celebrity because Chris Brown's a celebrity. There are plenty of black male celebrities who we don't see with women that look like us. And again, I understand there's a thing called a preference. I have a preference, and I've talked about what my preference is. So I don't have a problem with the preference, but I would never put someone who doesn't fit into my preference. I would never put them down just because they aren't my preference. And I don't think either. It's not that I don't even think he realized. He just doesn't care about the fact that that's what it is. And then there's that group of black women who are like, well, y'all, he right and y'all ugly if y'all feel away. Da, da, da. See, and that's the problem. Because there has to be some things we can unify on. And it's not about a group think. It's not about trying to be brainwashed. It's not about none of that. But the reality is that messaging is problematic. I have a niece who I love so much. And right now, I guess she has what you would call good hair. But if she gets older, her hair gets kinkier. Her hair gets curlier. What, she got bad hair now? What, she's not desirable anymore? And for years, black women, and particularly browner and dark-skinned black women, have had to fight the stereotypes that we are not desirable, that we're not loving, that men can't find us sexy. All these things. And I don't think, and it just seems like Chris Brown doesn't care that he's perpetuating that stereotype. There was a way to say that sentence that had nothing to do with good hair. You could have said whatever else. And it's funny because I was having this conversation with my mom about this particular situation with Chris Brown. And my mom was like, well, I got an issue with the fact that he called her a bad B or whatever. Like, he called her the B word. I have an issue with that. I don't know who said it, but when I read it, it was like a light bulb went off. They said something like, being in love with hip-hop is like being in love with your oppressor as a woman. Because for years, for decades, and again, I'm a hip-hop baby, okay? My mom, I grew up with listening to hip-hop. As I've gotten older, I've grown to love my own form of hip-hop, whatever. But if you love hip-hop, then you know, unfortunately, misogyny comes with hip-hop. And apparently R&B now, because, I mean, Chris Brown, do we still consider Chris Brown R&B? I don't really know what we consider him at this point, because he, like, rap and sings, and I don't really know what we consider him. But misogyny is a part of that. And when you take your misogyny and mix it with hatred for dark skin or hatred for unambiguous black features, it's like doubling down on the foolery. You know what I'm saying? We have to do better about holding those who we allow to be celebrities. We have to do better about holding them accountable. And because we speak with our dollars. It's a lot of y'all, like I said, it's a lot of fake outrage. Y'all be mad at somebody for a minute, then all of a sudden they uncancel. It's a lot of y'all who's mad at R. Kelly, and now y'all back playing 12 play again. It's a lot of y'all who gonna be mad, who mad at Chris Brown right now, but let him come to your city, you gonna be ready to give him money. Personally, I'm the type of person, like, once I'm done with you, for the most part, I'm cool. For example, me and my best friend, we used to always go see Kevin Hart. Every time Kevin Hart came to Cleveland, we would go see Kevin Hart. After all of that stuff happens, though, like with Kevin Hart's, well, I was already side-eyeing Kevin Hart when the story fully came out about his first wife. Like, what happened with his first wife, going into the second wife, I already was kind of like, some of them looking clean about this situation. But then when it came out that he did what he did with, like, the little side chick or whatever, while he was married to the second wife, while she was pregnant, I'm good, love, and joy. Like, at this point, it kind of just was like, personally, I just can't support. Now, this is how you know if it's a real boycott. Because nobody know, unless you ask me about whatever, nobody knows that I don't really mess with Kevin Hart no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm putting it in this video. But in general, like, in my real life, I don't advertise. It's not a big deal. But I'm not going to see, if Kevin Hart's in it, I'm probably not going to go out of my way to see if it comes on, okay? But I'm not going to go out of my way to support Kevin Hart anymore. Just because I didn't like the way he moved in that situation. Same thing with Neo. If you knew me when Neo first came out, I used to be in love with Neo. Loved Neo. Mind you, Neo don't like women that look like me. Which is, again, preference. But another thing, have you ever noticed that a lot of these celebrities have the same preference? I wonder where that comes from. But anyway, I used to be in love with Neo. But then when it came out, everything that happened with I don't think they were even married. I think like his fiance, his first two children's mother. And especially like even, I ain't gonna put it out there. If you want to know, Google it. Just Google, I think her name is, I can't remember her name. But just look up his first two children, their mother. Because matter of fact, she was on the same show I think she was on the same show as Kevin Hart's first wife, along with Usher's first wife. I think. I don't remember. But once I found out like the whole story behind their thing and like what he did to her or what like how that whole situation played out, and then his wife did, and then Neil's current wife has said some stuff that's a little so I'm just kind of like, I'm cool. And that one really hurt because again, I really like Neil. So I like I said, I don't, it's not one of those things that's like, well, I will say this. If it's R. Kelly, I'm very like anti R. Kelly. I'm gonna keep it a book. I'm anti R. Kelly. But for the rest of them, it's kind of like, I won't go out of my way to support. Like I said, if your stuff come on, okay. Like if I'm somewhere and I can't control the music, okay, whatever. But in general, like we have to stop supporting people who don't support people that look like us. Again, I understand there are preferences. I understand that, you're just attracted to what you're attracted to. But if you aren't attracted to someone that easily could have been related to you, not saying if you aren't attracted to people people who look like you, like I said, it seems weird because and obviously this isn't all celebrity men, right? But it seems like it's a really, like the prominent ones, they all are attracted to a certain type of woman, and that type of woman is not black. And I'm not looking for you to be attracted to me. I understand that big girls, that's a whole nother argument, that's a whole nother video. I get that. I'm not even asking for you to be attracted to me. Because, again, if we're keeping it a buck, if you watch my video, Chris Brown is not my type anyway. Or, like I said, I like Neo, but then when he took the hat off, it became a whole nother thing. But that's another video too. Never mind. I understand though. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Brown skinned women isn't everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. But when the men that we prominently put in front as our celebrities, as our representations for other people in the world, when other people never see women that look like them on their arm, it sends a message. And I think as women, we got to stop ignoring that message. There's a reason they don't pick black women. There's a reason they don't mind taking our money, but they will never mess with us. Or they'll let you be the jump off, but they'll never really take you seriously in a romantic setting. There's a reason for that. Until we can get to the place that we acknowledge, like, hey, some of our faves just don't like us. And that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow for some people. But some of our faves just don't like us. They don't like our skin tone. They don't like our hair. They don't like our features. They don't like the things that make us us. And like I said, you can ignore it if you want to. A lot of y'all will. Like I said, y'all gonna have this fake outrage and y'all gonna have this moment and y'all gonna be right back to singing Chris Brown songs in a minute, so I don't even know why y'all mad right now. But this shouldn't have been, based on his track record and his history, this shouldn't have surprised anyone, unfortunately. And like I said, I've never been a Chris Brown stan. I liked his music. No one can take away. Chris Brown is very talented. Singing, dancing, all no one can take that away from him. Chris Brown is amazing. He's probably one of the best of my generation. But that doesn't take away from the fact that what he's saying is problematic and it's hurtful to women that look like me. And again, I'm not looking for men like Chris Brown to find me attractive. But I also need you to put out a balance in the world. Like, it's fine if you prefer a woman with a certain type of hair, but there's no such thing as good hair. And like I said, black women, we have to stop perpetuating that as well. The women who have that hair type, that looser curl and things like that, it is your responsibility to call out the foolery when you see it. Because what happens is, and this is actually, matter of fact, this is what happened in this Chris Brown situation. What happens is, women that look like me, or have my hair type or whatever, will say, that's not really cool. There was another way you could have said that. It didn't have to be all that. And it becomes, oh, y'all ugly this and y'all da-da-da. And the women who he's upping and bigging in that moment, y'all don't say anything. The same energy we have for white people when we want them to call. If you say you're an ally and you say you're not a bad white person, the same energy we want them to have when somebody saying something crazy about a black person, we want them to step in and say, hey, that's not cool, whatever. Women who are being upped and bigged in that moment, it is your responsibility to say, yo, like Chris, as someone who has the hair type that you like or looks as aesthetically pleasing to you, there was another way you could have did that. But that doesn't happen because, in our society in general, and I'm saying light skin because most of the women we've seen Chris Brown with is light skin. Light skinned people are closer to whiteness, and whiteness is the default, especially here in America. Whiteness is like the default. Everything else is compared to whiteness. So the darker the further away you get from whiteness, the worse you are. So that's inherent, like self-hatred. That's self-hatred, and most of us don't want to go that deep, don't want to think about it, and that's, it is what it is. But as someone who is dark, as someone who is fat, and like I said, I can make a whole nother video about the fat shaming that goes on. As someone who is dark and as someone who is fat, I have a responsibility to support those who support me, who big me up, who love on me, whatever. And for those who don't, quietly just dismiss them. I'm cool on Chris Brown at this point. And it's sad because, like I said, I genuinely liked his music. Me and Mom was just talking about this. Fine China is probably one of my favorite Chris Brown songs. But for decades, black women have been disrespected, and we just take it. We take it because we're used to it. It's 2019. We don't have to take that disrespect anymore. And if you're a real one, and I understand everyone's convictions are different, so maybe the Chris Brown thing don't bother you. Hey, that's your business. Because I know quite a few people in my real life who the R. Kelly thing don't bother them, which, okay. But the Chris Brown thing might not bother you. That's fine. But be respectful of those who are like, I'm cool on him. And there are a few artists we have to agree on, like, who just aren't problematic, who are putting out good music, who we can appreciate, we can love. There has to be some. Put down in the comments if you know any, some who celebrate black women, who love on black women, who aren't degrading us in their music. And it's R&B, like I said, it's R&B and it's hip-hop. Lil Wayne is famous. Lil Wayne is notorious for dragging dark-skinned women, or just being, like, real problematic when it comes to dark-skinned women, even though his ex-wife and his daughter is not light. But that's another video. We just have to do better. We have to hold the ones that we allow to be celebrated. And I say we allow because, let's just be real, the average artist, especially black artists, black people are the ones who put you on first. And then because black culture in particular, black American culture is what sets the tone globally most times. So whatever we say is hot, that's when all the white execs start paying attention. So a lot of y'all artists, if it wasn't for black people, black women in particular, if we're talking about a male artist, if it wasn't, or male R&B artists, or male, depending on the type of music you do, if it wasn't for black women, you wouldn't even be where you are. And that's not just, I'm not saying just dark-skinned women, but black women in general. But then once you get on, it's almost like, what's that Kanye line? What's that Kanye line? When he says, something, but once he get on, he leave you for a white girl. Like, that's almost what it is. Except y'all won't let them. Some of y'all just go straight to white girls. But a lot of y'all, what y'all do is y'all find someone who's racially ambiguous. You don't really know what they got going on, but you know they're not black. And y'all try to say, well, she got an 8th, she got 1/65th black, so she's all right. What? That's not. And again, I don't mind if you have a preference, that's fine. But there's a way to have a preference that doesn't also disrespect another group of people. And the disrespect is what I have an issue with. So at this point, yeah. But I'm cool on Chris Brown. I'm cool. And in 2019, I'm just cool on male and female artists that are just being disrespectful to somebody like me. Like I said, so if you dogging brown or dark skin girls, I'm done. If you dogging fat girls, I'm done. If you dogging natural hair, I'm done. If you dogging unambiguous black features, I'm done. I'm good. I do not need that type of negativity in my life. You know what I'm saying? We have people who are growing up seeing these things, and then we wonder why people want to change all these things about themselves as little kids or when they're younger. It's because we have our celebrities in our world telling them that what they have isn't good enough, or what they have needs to be altered to this to be found desirable. That's not okay, and that's not cool. We were created the way we were created for a reason. And I'm not talking about, changing your hair color. I'm not talking about getting your nails. I'm not talking about that. But there comes a point when, like I said, you can have a preference, but it doesn't mean that you get to be disrespectful. So I know that was a lot of rambling. My bad. I just had to get that out real fast because I was annoyed. And like I said, I'm probably, when it comes to music, when it comes to our entertainment, we're huge hypocrites, right? Because we will say, I'm done with such and such, but when that beat come on, we be ready to pop, lock, and drop it. A lot of y'all was mad at H&M last year, but y'all still be shopping there. A lot of y'all was mad at Gucci earlier this year, but your favorite rapper rapping about Gucci and you won't really say nothing about it. And again, I'm a hypocrite because I like Megan Thee Stallion, but Megan Thee Stallion dropped Gucci a couple times in her raps. So it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. But we have to do better about the ones that you really find offensive. Those ones that you really find offensive, cut them off. I guarantee if you hit their pockets, because unfortunately in this day and age, most people care about their money. They don't care about how they make people feel. They don't care about, how people view them. Because a lot of people feel like all press is good press, good or bad. And I feel like that's partly what this is. Like, all this hype, because Chris Brown has an album coming out. I don't know if it's already out or if it's coming out. But this song is on his new album. Not that Chris Brown needs clout, because he's Chris Brown. I don't feel like he needs the clout. But I feel like we've learned, especially within the last couple of years, that black outrage helps with sales. It helps draw attention to certain things. I feel like that's why Gucci did the thing with the sweater, because it got all of us talking about Gucci again. It got, H&M did that thing with the monkey in the jungle because it got us all talking about H&M. Black outrage equates to dollars. So there are some people who maybe they forgot about Chris Brown, but maybe they didn't even realize Chris Brown even had a new song out. They're streaming it just to hear this song. Like, it's all about money at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So if you really are over it, be done with it. Like, you don't have to be bothered with somebody's foolery and and if you aren't someone who's offended by that, that's fine. But respect the fact that there are some of us who were offended. Don't call us out our name. Don't call us crazy. Don't call us whatever. Just respect that we're like, no, we good. And for us who really feel that way, this is the only time you'll hear me talk about it unless you ask me about it. It's quite a few people that I'm cool on. To be honest, there's quite a few people that I'm cool on. But again, I'm not one of those people who just out here, this person's canceled me, this person's canceled me, I'm not one of those people, because again, a lot of y'all be fake canceling people and y'all don't be really about that cancel life. But for me, personally, unfortunately, Chris Brown is canceled. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm tired. And I'm sad because, again, I really like Chris Brown's music, but you're constantly being disrespectful to women that look like me, and you don't see anything wrong with that. And you're teaching your daughter that it's okay to be like that. Like, it's just too much. It's too much. So that's all I had to say about this. Make sure you hit up the website, truthandloveunited.com. Make sure you like, share, comment on this video. Let me know, am I crazy? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm all for having a respectful conversation. Please do not call each other names. Please don't be acting crazy in my comments, because I will delete it, because I don't play those games. Don't do that. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. And you already know what I'm gonna say. As long as you're running your race at God's pace, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And run your race the way he created you to be. Just saying. Bye, y'all.